Hey guys, it's Matthew here, and today we're going to be reviewing an indie game called Papers, Please. It is by Lucas Pope, if I'm correct, and it's a very fun indie game, so I thought I'd show you it today. Okay, now the first thing about Papers, Please is the gameplay mechanics. Now, you play as a border post officer who won his job in a lottery. So you have to go checking people's passes and border passes and entry tickets and stuff, and seeing if they have, if they have their all their papers in order, if their passport is expired, and you have to deny and accept them based on the facts that you get. You will be penalized if you do not, successfully deny or accept them. For example, if you accept someone who's denied, you gain a penalty, which I do somewhere in this gameplay. I'm not sure where. And if you deny people, you don't get a citation. You just don't gain money, because you gain money depending on how much you earn or how many people you let pass. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about now is I'm going to talk about the setting of it. Now, the setting is very grim. It's somewhere in Russia, if I'm correct. The city that you supposedly work for is Astodka. It takes place in Russia, and the setting, if I had to compare the setting to a different indie game, I would compare the setting to is a game called Deadlight 2. No, just Deadlight, I think. Yeah, just Deadlight. I would mainly compare it to that because it's so grim. The atmosphere of the game it's bleak. It's not washed out. I think they were going for that atmosphere, which is great, and they really did a very good job in presenting or projecting that atmosphere into the actual game. Now, the storyline progresses as more events happen. So, for example, you would start off only accepting and denying as Stodkans. Ugh, that name. And then you would gradually move up as different things happen. So, for example, you would keep only admitting as Stodkans until the end of the second day, where a terrorist attack happens, which requires every foreigner to have an entry ticket and a work pass, if I'm correct. And then there's a suicide bomber from Kalicha, which requires all Kalicians must be searched, and so on and so forth. Now, I really like this. I really like this mechanic. It's a very interesting way of introducing new levels of difficulty into the game. Merely by saying ranking, instead of ranking up, it gives you a storyline to follow as it gets difficult, which is something that most indie games don't really do. And I'd also like to point out that that I haven't found any bugs whatsoever with this game. Well, that's just my opinion. Maybe you have. I haven't. So what I'm going to be talking about now is I'm going to be talking about how the game runs. Now, the game is very smooth. It's not very intensive on FPS at all. It's very easy to record. That's why I love indie games. So it's very easy to record. And so it can run on any computer that can launch it. It's very very self-dependent in terms of frames per second and graphics and lag, etc. Now, I also do wish that there were more options in this game. For example, the game does end rather abruptly. I forgot which day it ends on. I think day 9 or day 10. I did read the developer's blog, and he is going to be adding some more days and some more levels. He also plans to add like a co-op mode or maybe an endless mode where there's no storyline, you just keep doing it, which I would actually prefer. What I would like to see is a survival mode where they have where you have your family basically, and they would die off, and if you didn't earn enough money, and if they died, then the survival mode would end. Now, I don't think I actually did talk about the family. Sorry. You start off with a family. You start off with your mother-in-law, your wife, and your son, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. But what you have to do is you have to basically earn money for them, and then the money you earn, you have to decide over which necessity you have to provide. So, for example, say the family's cool, but you only have enough money for heat or for food. You would choose heat, and the next day they would go hungry, and you would have to choose food. And then occasionally your son will get sick. I think it's only your son who can get sick. Your son is the only one who I've ever gotten sick. But when he gets sick, you have to afford medicine, which is not very cheap. I mean, not very expensive. It's only $5. And another thing I would like to see in the game, excuse me. Another thing I would like to see in the game is if the family could die off at a certain point. Like, for example, let's say your son is sick, but you can't afford to pay medication, right? You would have to, and you have to skip that turn. So the next day, it would cost $10 instead of $5 to get him back to full health, right? If that makes any sense, like, to afford that medication. Like, things would cost more as the family needs more of it. Like, if the family is very hungry, it should cost, instead of $20, it should cost 40. Or maybe that's just being a little too I don't know. But overall, it's a very fun game. It doesn't have that good of a replayability factor, and that's another thing I would like to see. I would like to see more things added that that allow us to be able to replay the game. Because I mean, once you've played it, there's nothing really more to do in the game. I mean, he is going to be adding more. It is only in beta after all. I mean, it is waiting on Steam green light, if I'm correct. I think it's not on Steam yet, no. But you can download it in the link below. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. And bye. Bye, guys.